Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my personal AI assistant that I've been working on. My current AI uses a combination of LLM API requests and TTS. I've also experimented a bit with speech recognition. My AI can also read and write documents, which is very useful for coding or text-related tasks. My ultimate goal with this AI is that it is 100% local and smart enough to be Turing complete. However, for now I'm happy with just having an AI that I can speak to and assign tasks to. I started by trying to find a local TTS module, and I found a really good one called Kokoro TTS. There are a few voices and you can even combine them to create your own mixed voice, but it's still not as good as ElevenLabs. ElevenLabs costs money though, and I personally don't want to spend money by just talking to an AI, so I went for the local free option. When I had my voice for my AI, all I needed was an LLM. My first choice was to use LLama, which is a completely local LLM. But my computer is currently not fast enough for that, so I decided to go for the Gemini's API instead, which has a free option with really fast response time. The thing that fascinated me with this project is that I actually learned that there is a completely new way to program stuff today. Normally, I would just program whatever I want in Python or whatever language I'm using. But with LLMs, you could actually treat them as functions themselves. Let me explain. Normally, you use an LLM to ask a question, and then the LLM gives you an answer. But what would happen if I told you that it could, for example, write text in a file, and then based on what the user requested, it would create a file with that content because I'm combining prompts with Python code. By doing this, I can essentially make the AI do anything, but only the things that I want it to be able to do. For example, I made this prompt to make it create one file with a file name, and that's it. That way, it couldn't possibly create more than one file and crashing my whole computer. So after I realized that, which a lot of people already have before me, I started combining these prompt functions into different categories. And then I used another prompt function to simply decide what kind of prompt functions should be used like this. I basically just ask it to only respond with one word, and it works every time. So now I could just build upon this AI with more and more functions, and also the files that it writes, I can make it remember and look through and edit if I want to. All this makes it very intuitive, and it almost feels like I'm creating a brain structure. And the best part about it is that when LLMs get better and better, these prompts will still work. And in fact, they will probably work even better. Now, I haven't yet made the LLM create its own prompt functions, even though I have asked smarter LLMs like Claude to format the prompts. But that is something that I will probably experiment with in the future. Now, here's an example of what I can do with my current AI assistant. Write the code for Snake in a new file called snake.py.
I have created a Python file named Snake, Py, containing the code for a snake game using the Pygame library.
And bam! Here we have a program for Snake. That only took a few seconds. Now, some of you might not think that's so impressive, but I can now also improve this code. Update the Snake program to automatically play itself.
I've modified the snake game code to include basic AI controls. The snake now automatically moves towards the food.
And bam! It now plays itself. Okay. This is definitely cool and all, but I'm not encouraging you all to become vibe coders. But the fact that I can make drafts of code this fast has a lot of potential. I think that the most interesting part of all this is that it's no longer just about making everything as logically efficient enough. It's also about how text information is processed. In the futures, I have plans on integrating my AI into my robot Phi, And that is really exciting, because then I could, for example, take visual data from the eyes and convert that into understandable text. I currently don't know how much can be done with simply LLMs, but it's going to be interesting to find out. I know that most movements in robots today are done by using reinforcement learning, but it would definitely be interesting if a robot could reason its way into, for instance, walking, instead of more or less do trial and error with reward functions all the time. Ultimately, I think maybe that a combination could work. But I'm just a solo dev that has way too much free time, unlike these tech giants that spend millions on trying to come up with the best answers. But to be frank, I don't care. And neither should you. While these tech companies does everything in their way to make the best robots, they are also doing everything in their way to market them and to make money. So, while they have a big advantage, I also think that they have a big disadvantage. Anyways, trying to be the best is futile in comparison to become perfect. That is my philosophy, at least. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm naive or if you have any other thoughts. Alright, see ya.